¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome to another video. So stop thinking like a YouTuber and start thinking like a franchise. So if Hollywood can basically squeeze 20 years of money out of a one zombie movie, why do you drop one banger video and then it never touch the idea again? The reason why I say this is because I don't know if you've noticed, but literally 20 days later or 20 years later is actually going viral right now. And literally it's within the same universe, the same feeling, the same story roughly, but different angle, right? But just more money. And creators treat viral videos like lottery tickets, and studios basically treat them like franchises based off of case studies, right? So in this video, I'm basically going to talk to you about how to stop thinking like a YouTuber and start thinking like a franchise, so that one good video becomes 10, 20, 50 pieces of content and a real business behind it. But before we get into that, if you guys are interested in actually literally getting into social media marketing agencies overall, and then just making content for other people in order to make money online, click the first link in the description. I literally have a coaching program, community, and a course which you can check out that we literally help people all over the world basically get from 0 to 6 figures in roughly less than 90 days. So if you're interested in that, click the first link in the description. By the way, my name is Pedro Millán, and if you haven't watched any of my videos, I literally own 2 social media marketing agencies. We literally have more than 68 million views with all the people that we've worked with, more than 100 appointments booked, and a Grammy to my name. Not trying to sell you anything. I just want you to make content better so you can make money online. So more so than anything else, how one movie became a franchise. So you've probably seen like, oh my God, like 28 days later, eventually the movie actually did really well in the box office, millions of dollars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like the people from the actors that like were originally in the first video actually transitioned into the other movies as well. But then that later transitioned into 28 weeks later, and then after that, 28 years later with national headlines. So they basically asked, what, like, as far as developers are concerned, like what people felt watching this, what world did we just basically create, and which characters and themes people actually were interested in, right? And then they did 3 smart things. One, they literally devised a sequel being 28 weeks later with the same universe, just higher stakes. They basically did a spin-off and roughly made merch from all these different things from the different angles, the same intellectual property being obviously the movies. And then they basically did re-releases from the same film, new platforms with new trailers, with new audiences, right? And that's literally just pattern recognition. And this worked. Why? What's the pattern, right? So cool. How do we repeat this and then just create it again without copying the exact same thing, which is essentially the in the way that you should operate, because creators almost never do this. I'll be very honest. You literally get one video that does like 10x your normal views, and you smile, you screenshot it, and you basically show it to everybody else and be like, look what I did, and this, that, and thing, and then you basically go right back to random posting. However, it's because you're thinking like a YouTuber. You're not necessarily thinking like a franchise, which we need to flip that and start thinking like a studio that actually creates all these things for people on a consistent basis and turn this into a template that we can actually make a business out of, right? So first and foremost, like your one banger is essentially your origin story more so than anything else. It's like every channel has that one video. For me, it's this like stop thinking like a YouTuber video, like thinking like Netflix that actually did most of the views in the past 28 days, et cetera, et cetera. Or for example, another video that did well on my channel, which is the truth about buying a camera in 2026. Or essentially the video where you ranted with real conviction and it suddenly got more views than usual, which that video is not necessarily a lucky hit, right? That's essentially your 28 days later. That's your initial proven concept, if that makes sense. It's proof of concept for your franchise, whatever it is. So instead of asking, how do I create another random viral video? You ask, what exactly happened here? What's the pattern? What did I talk about? What's the title? What's the thumbnail? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's essentially a banger autopsy. I think I'm the first person to say that, but you'd essentially go into your YouTube analytics or your short form organic content analytics like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook, or whatever, and then you're going to basically assess them by these metrics, right? Like the topic, what problem or opinion was I actually talking about? Next thing was audience. Is like, who felt called out? Is it new creators? Is it agency owners? Is it realtors? Is it gym owners? Is it people that want to lose weight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Next is the emotion. Was it anger? Was it hope? Was it fear? Was it curiosity? Was it FOMO? What exactly is the emotion that I was presenting in the specific video? Next is the hook. What is essentially the first 3 to 5 seconds if it's a short form video, or even shorter than that, the first 1 to 3 seconds basically addressing, or in YouTube video it'd be like the first 10 seconds, right? What's the first sentence on screen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then from there, it's structure. It's like, what did I rant about? What did I teach in steps? What did I tell a story, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the last metric is what exactly did the retention look like? Where did people drop off? How long did people stay? Where did they lean in? You essentially write all this stuff down and you essentially track it literally with pen and paper or on a Google Sheet or Notion template or whatever it is. And that is essentially your franchise Bible, right? So how can you turn one video into a franchise, or rather one video into a series that actually works for you? In this case, using the concept of a franchise, right? We're just basically going to use the same playbook that movies use, right? So like, let's say a direct sequel, right? 28 Days Later literally had 28 Weeks Later, right? And these are obvious follow-ups to the original hit. You literally do the same thing with your YouTube videos. So for example, for me, the highest rated video on my channel right now in long form is Stop Thinking Like a YouTuber, Think Like Netflix, right? Based off of the whole acquisition thing between like Warner Brothers and everything like that. Sequels could be Stop Thinking Like a YouTuber, Think Like a Franchise, which is literally this video. Stop Thinking Like a YouTuber, Think Like ESPN during the Super Bowl. Stop Thinking Like a YouTuber, Think Like a media company. Stop Thinking Like a YouTuber, Think Like a streamer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's the same skeleton using the big stop statement and then comparing the YouTuber mindset versus the mindset that I'm basically trying to address to you, which is essentially the public, right? Then basically I'm showing my audience how to apply it within whatever it is that I want to talk about. In my channel, it'd be like gear, personal branding, UGC content, agency offers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if a video about whatever on your channel basically works, sequels are the following same template, but just structured in a different way using different examples. Because YouTube is literally all about the packaging, and so is short form. It just depends on how you're going about it. So, because people are essentially tired of like all the stuff that people just use on a consistent basis and just random posts. So you might as well just use the stuff that works. Now, the second way to do that is by doing spin-offs and being like side characters or new angles that people use in movies and TV shows and whatnot. I want you to start thinking your content as if they were side quests in the same universe. So what does that mean? So if a hit video was about thinking like a studio, right? Like on my channel, for example, the spin-off could be case studies about like how I turned one video into 27 pieces of content, right? Or a breakdown video being like Netflix versus Paramount during the whole like Warner Bros. Situation as far as the acquisition is concerned. Or like a tutorial of like basically how to build your own studio with your content, right? The free organic content that you're basically making. It's the same core idea and you own your IP, but the only thing is that you're thinking long term with a different angle, different path. So that way, if you literally talk about anything on your channel, spin-offs are very easy to make, especially because they're directly correlated to what exactly you're talking about on your YouTube channel or basically your content overall. And then the last one is essentially other formats, like for example, shorts, emails, and lead magnets. It's like studios don't necessarily just drop the movie and dip, pretty much. They basically cut trailers, they make clips, they make interviews, they make posters, they make behind the scenes in order to market, right? So you should too. So take that one banger, let's say, something within that video was fantastic. So then therefore, you could literally chop that up if you're making this on YouTube into 5 to 10 shorts or reels. Literally from the best lines, and then post that to all of your content, literally everywhere, right? To develop omnipresence. Turn the best ideas into carousels for IG or X or Threads, right? Turn your framework into a one-page PDF and develop a lead magnet if you're a business, like a checklist, a script, or anything that you can basically send to people for free, and turn your rant into a newsletter. Very simple. Now that one video isn't just one upload. It's basically a mini universe feeding your channel with your brand, your list, and your offers. And that's essentially what a franchise is. So, and the most important concept, more so than anything else on this video, if you learn anything from me, is essentially pattern recognition. So pattern recognition is also more money, and it also equates to less time. So this especially matters in 2026 because you already know, at least if you're watching my channel, that 2026 is a volume game. So that means you have to commit to daily uploads. You have to make sure that you're uploading to multiple platforms and short form everywhere, right? Including long form and everything else. But volume without pattern recognition is basically chaos because you burn yourself out by literally all the time that you're making 100 random videos. So instead of just literally 20 intentional ones built around what's already working, like you're literally just wasting so much time when you could just basically do trial and error. And once something sticks, then you commit, you double down, you triple, quadruple times down, double down on that specific idea or video overall. And you basically learn to basically speak with conviction about whatever it is that you're talking about. You learn how to communicate clearly, and then you do a banger autopsy to every single time something hits. And then you unlock a cheat code, right? Which is essentially, the better you understand the pattern, the less time you waste filming, which then the more videos you can make that actually move the business, especially if you're a business that's making content, or if you're making content your business. And that's how you go from literally, I post every day and nothing happens, to like, I've literally got 3 franchise examples on my channel that constantly bring me leads, bring me UGC deals, bring me affiliate deals, bring me sponsorships from other people, and agency clients if that's what you want to do. Studios make fewer new ideas than you think, to be quite honest with you. They just milk the same idea consistently. And once they do that, they basically profit off of it. So here's your action plan. What I want you to do is I want you to find your 28 days later. I want you to go into your analytics, sort it by views or watch time, depending on whatever metric that you want to decide, and then pick the one long form video that did way better than everybody else, right? Then you're going to do a banger autopsy, right? So you're essentially going to pick the topic, the audience, the emotion, the hook, the structure, and the retention metric that actually literally made that video possible. You're going to write it all down. Then plan at least 3 sequels, just like a movie, and 3 spin-offs, title them, put them in your content calendar, and commit to posting them or videos like them over the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe in the next month. And then after that, you're going to cut them into 5 to 10 short clips per video, and then use them as essentially trailers to point back to your YouTube channel, so that way you can actually start growing like a franchise does normally. So if you do that with every video that outperforms and your channel stops being a random upload graveyard, you're literally going to start looking like a studio and actually generating views and obviously metrics that are positive for you and more money in your pocket overall. So if this video helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please make sure to like and subscribe to the video, because I literally, subscribe to the channel, not to the video, because I literally put videos out like this every single day and you don't want to miss them. On top of that, like I said before, if you're trying to develop your own SMMA or your own agency in order to get to 6 figures as soon as possible, either with content or any other services that like literally SMMAs literally provide, then basically the first link in the description, we have our coaching program, our community, and our course that you can basically learn how to do that in less than 90 days. Other than that, I really appreciate it. And if you will love the video so much, don't just stop watching there. Literally, there's a video here that's recommended by YouTube that you can watch right now and literally just continue watching, and I really appreciate it. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Peace.